going to try to dig out of a nearly impossible 0-3 hole. Take a listen.
We're not happy with where we're at, but by no means is the season over.
Touchdowns in the first
We're
half.
0-3. There's 14 left to play. We just have to continue to get better and, see where the cards fall in the next, 10 weeks, whenever the bye is. So we just got to go into this week preparing to get better and trying to get a win. That's all you can do.
Okay, quarterbacks get all the money, get all the praise. Does Burrow deserve the blame here, too?
No, that's a great point, because if they were 3-0, he would be getting all the praise. All right, so I know he's played very well. All right, he's got no interceptions all season, got 5 touchdowns. He's played fine. They scored 33 last night. Usually that's going to win you the game. But where I blame Joe Burrow is these inexplicably poor starts to every season. This is his career. 0-2, 1-1. That's the year they went to the Super Bowl. 0-2, 0-2, 0-3. And I get last year the injury, but he did play. But even if you take that year out, this is on the leader. You're the quarterback. You're the leader. And I think the Joe Cool attitude is great for them, especially now when they're 0-3. He's not going to panic. But I wonder if maybe there's not that sense of urgency because your leader, I'm just throwing it out there, has such a cool, laid-back persona that they don't enter the season with the sense of urgency that they need to, because this is ridiculous. For a guy that good, a team this good, to start every season in the hole, I do put some of that on Joe Burrow.
Absolutely not. Stop it.
Stop it?
Are you kidding me right now?
No, I'm not kidding you at all.
If we just look at last night, they scored every time they had the ball. Defensively, you get nothing, and you say Joe Burrow is your fault. What?
That's one game. I'm talking about the question is the 0-3 start.
The 0-3 start. You put that just on Joe Burrow.
No,
you
not just on him, but he's got to wear some of it.
This is where I feel like that Zach Taylor needs to wear that. When you talk about how your team starts, how your team finishes, those are coaching things. Those aren't player-induced. For me, Joe, you can't blame somebody and give them full ownership of something when they're actually doing their part. That's like looking at the 49ers right now, even though they're losing, saying, Brock Purdy's not cutting it. None of us are saying that because he's playing well, despite not having all his guys. So I'm not going to do that to Joe Burrow.
I'm just saying he don't get any of this blame.
Can I try to split the baby here?
Yeah.
Week 1, I put on him.
I'll give you that.
And week 2 and 3, I put almost none of it on him. So, we can show you the numbers. Week 1, he was bad.
He was terrible.
And if they don't lose that game,
right, they're not 0-3. Right. So I put 0-1 on him, but then the next 2, he's been excellent. Without prior to last night, his full complement of guys. And so I thought against the Chiefs, he played really well. I thought last night, he played great. I thought he played great last night. And so if we blame Pie quickly, Wilds.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I am the biggest slice goes to the head coach. It's not even because I think Zach Taylor's a bad coach, but everything you talked about, the perpetual slow starts, to me, I feel is more coaching. But the next biggest slice goes to Lou Anarumo.
Absolutely.
That defense has been awful. And I don't know what's worse, letting the Commanders score 38 or the Patriots score 16, but they're both bad. And so they built the whole defense to slow down the Chiefs. They actually do slow down the Chiefs, but then everyone else gets their season high on them.
But if you get all the praise, you got to get some blame when they lose. Because Purdy doesn't get all the praise when they win. He gets a little some of it, but he shouldn't get all the blame if they lose.
But quarterbacks don't get all the praise if the teams win and they don't play that well, as evidenced by the last 90 minutes in Patrick Mahomes. They're 3-0. He's the greatest quarterback we've ever seen, and no one's saying he's playing great.
Yeah.
He's the reason they're winning. People are saying that he should fall down his own mountain. That you know what I mean?
Fall down just
a little bit. And so I understand what you're saying, but it's not always the case there. Gino, the Seahawks are 3-0. You have Geno falling down the mountain. The Steelers are 3-0. Wild's forgotten, didn't even include poor Justin Fields.
Well, I'm just saying he gets a little bit of the blame.
Yeah,
A little bit of the blame. There's
that's
plenty
all
of
I'm
teams
saying.
are 1-2. He lost that Patriots game hurt or
yes.
right, but they
That's
would
a
be
killer loss.
But I guess I look at. I feel like Joe Burrow this year is 2-1.
I know but that's the issue.
He's
not.
played great. No,
But Joe Burrow gets so much grace. Joe Burrow gets the most grace
Because they
from
beat the Chiefs.
anybody.
That's it.
Everybody. Joe Burrow can do no wrong. Joe Burrow hasn't won a game. He had just like Trevor Lawrence hasn't won a game, just like Will Levis hasn't won a game. But everyone's like, oh, Super Bowl contenders, the Bengals. It's just Joe Burrow is just. I don't know. I feel like he gets. It's a little bit that I'm being unfair to Joe Burrow. Because
because they never punted or turned the ball over.
No,
they
it
scored
irks me that he
points.
hasn't won a game, and like Lamar will do the same thing, and Lamar gets hammered.
Oh, hold on.
That's bothersome.
Wait a minute.
I'm admitting it.
Hold
I'm
on.
admitting it. I bring the Lamar
No.
media slights. I get angry that they're not.
But I'm curious.
Joe Burrow's not held to the same
I get
standard.
that, but I would like to see the evidence of a game like yesterday's, where the Ravens score 30+, have no turnovers, the offense is humming, and then the next day people come in and kill Lamar. Because that I'm not familiar with. I think people kill Lamar when they play poorly because usually
People kill Lamar. You
plays
kill
poorly.
Lamar after week 1.
Yeah, they scored 20 points.
They almost beat the
missed
world
the wide
champs, and he
open.
got
Hold on,
nailed
hold on.
He did miss
because
the wide open receiver.
got to do the next. So got to be over my
He turned the ball over in that game. They scored 20 points. He missed a receiver for a touchdown. That's not what happened yesterday.
I'm not talking about yesterday. I'm talking about that he's a winless quarterback.
oh, yeah.
He's got to wear some of it. That if y'all
yeah,
saying
week
he's
one.
got to wear
Something.
some of this,
And
for these
I'm not giving all of it
perpetually
to him in week
no, I'm
one.
not giving all of it.
I'm not
Week
giving
one,
all.
Scored
no.
10 points.
How you lose 10 points against the Patriots?
I mean, Jamar Chase decides to, I'm going to play. I haven't been in training camp all year, but I'm going to play. So, Joe Burrow, you got to make it right. Like, I mean, come on now.
But do you
Let's be honest.
but you just threw it out there because the Hub said we have a couple more minutes here. You get the logical inconsistency of you just threw out there. Oh, you're going to blame him. Scored 10 points. You're killing him when they scored 33.
I'm not killing him for last night.
Well,
the
I'm not
question
killing him
was
for
the
last night.
0-3
He's
But they
winless.
wouldn't be- but
He's
they-
winless.
The question
That's all I'm
was
saying.
those- Start, not last night.
Right, okay. But so the reason I said he's 2-1 is the point that I was trying to make is I think Joe Burrow has played well enough to win, has done his job 2 of the 3 games, and 1 of the 3 has done would you win that game 95% of the time unless your defense plays a historically bad game. And that's what it was. So I am not saying he's played like a great quarterback this year. What I have said is that if you look take Trevor. Trevor's play deserves to be 0-3 this season. His play deserves to be 0-3. Will Levis's play deserves to be 0-3.
Missteps.
Right. And by the way, Caleb's 1-2. His play probably deserves to be 0-3 because the week 1 they won despite him. Now you could have said week 3 he played well enough. I don't know.
deserves to be 0-3.
But 0-3, right? I think Burrow's play deserves really to be like 1-1-1, but because I don't know how you grade the Chiefs game, but certainly a win yesterday. So that's the point that
This is
that
why
I'm making.
all these machinations are too confusing. That's why I just do quarterback wins. 0.
Yeah, but then,
If you have 1 win, you're better than the
hold on.
other.
But that kind of flies a bit in the face of caping for Lamar in a year that he's 1-2.
I know. Come in threes, but Joe Burrow threw 3 touchdowns, scored 33 points, is now 0-3.
This guy.
Wow. When did you become so
I
anti-Burrow?
know. My gosh.
You guys beat him. I don't even understand it.
Exactly, because we beat the Bengals. I said the Bengals aren't good, and everyone's like, no, they actually are good. That game doesn't even count. Here's Joe Burrow.
You also said it meant you guys were good, and you're terrible.
That was your team.
Here's Joe Burrow.
We're not happy with where we're at. But by no means is the season over. We're 0-3. There's 14 left to play. We just have to continue to get better and, see where the cards fall in the next, 10 weeks, whenever the bye is. So we just got to go into this week